What's up, YouTube? Ryan back today with another top 100 prospect list breakdown. MLB Pipeline finally released their top 100. We're going to go through it for the first time right now. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Everyone who watches my channel knows MLB Pipeline is my favorite top 100 list. I just think it's the best overall list. You know, it doesn't seem that biased. You know, we get some analysts that value ceiling and some analysts that value, you know, age and skill set. And then some people like pitchers way more than hitters and things like that. So overall, I think MLB Pipeline just time and time again has the most consistent list, and I'm super excited to go through this. They also have the best website, so I'm going to try to go quick. I always say that. It usually lasts like an hour, so we'll see how we do it. I'm going to go pretty quick here because it's about the fourth video I've done on a top 100 lists, but well, let's do it. Let's jump into player number 100. All right, so our first player is going to be Joey Weimer of the Milwaukee Brewers. Looks like he got drafted in 2020 in the 4th round. This is someone I actually am not really tracking all that well. 23 years old, 6'5", 215, so an absolute tank. 403 on base percentage in his first year, which is awesome. And he looks like he played 34 games at high A, 75 at low A. He's straight raked, especially in high A. 34 games, 336 with 14 home runs. Wow, okay. Definitely seems deserving to be on this list. I'm cool with it. You know, anyone between the 90s and 100s is kind of just a pick and choose type of situation. Blake Walston at number 99 for my D-backs. This is their first-round draft pick back in 2019. He was a 26th overall pick. I think he's a really good pitcher. Has pretty much everything. Like, as you can see, the scouts grade him 55 overall, and that's like a top-tier prospect grade. But just has good everything, honestly. His control could use a little bit of improvement. As you can see, 33 walks and 95 innings. That's still not even that bad, actually. So 117 Ks in 95 innings. Just, I like it. Matt Brash at 98. Honestly, I think this guy should be higher because he has absolutely been unhittable in his 2 seasons. I would have him higher. Honestly, I would have him pushing the top 50 at this point, but I get it. He's definitely more of, in my opinion, like a nasty relief pitcher, but shoot, no one can hit him. Look at that. Just career 2.28. Last year he had, where was it? So last year, 2 teams, 97 innings, 142 strikeouts. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Whip 1.14. Hitters only hit 180 against him, so love that. 97 Joe Ryan. He's not really a prospect anymore. He came up and actually pitched pretty well last year for the Twins. I think he's a good pitcher. He's not a strikeout guy, but he's a guy that knows where the ball is going and does a good job at it. Austin Wells entering the top 100. I don't hate this. The Yankees draft really well. He's their first-round draft pick in the 2020 draft, 28th overall. Similar spot to where they got Volpe, and Volpe, look what he did this past year. But Austin Wells had a solid first year, 390 on base percentage, 264 average, 16 home runs. 16 home runs is huge for their first year, but he is a college guy, so I don't mind him being there. Jose Miranda, I'd probably have a little bit higher than this, actually, but I'm not mad. Especially because last year was his real breakout. Hit 344 with 30 home runs last year, 401 on base percentage, just raked. At 94, we have Miguel Vargas. I would definitely have Miguel Vargas higher up. He's just one of the most consistent hitters in the minor leagues has to give. Like, straight up over 3 seasons, 316 with 32 home runs, 384 on base percentage. And last year's we got his real first taste of like Double-A. Some real competition. He hit 321 with 16 home runs, 386 on base percentage over 83 games. Like, absolute stud. Love Miguel Vargas. He's so good. Harry Ford at number 93. I'm cool with it. I mean, he's one of those 2021 guys that has a lot of hype. He was a 12th overall pick, 19 years old, 5'10", 200. Seems like he has lightning fast hands, quick swing. So we'll see what he can do this year, but nothing to really go off of other than hype. Christian Hernandez, a lot of people I know closely love Christian Hernandez. Say he's going to break out this year. Had a really solid first year in those 47 games, 285, 398 on base percentage, 5 home runs. A lot of people think he's going to break out even more this year, but definitely a good player. Greg Jones at 91, I don't love. I mean, again, 90 through 100 is kind of whatever, but like, I don't like him over Christian Hernandez. I don't like him, definitely not over Miguel Vargas. Just a couple of these other guys like I'd rather have. And that's just because honestly, he's older. He's 24, and he's really only done well at high A last year. He did really well at high A, but then he got brought up to double A and just was like terrible. So no, I don't love Greg Jones. DL Hall at 90, I would have higher. I get it. He had an injury last year. I don't know if that's what's affecting this grade, but he's been virtually unhittable since 2018, like 2.1, 3.4, 3.1. Like, he's just done really well. He missed most of the season last year, which stinks. He only had 7 starts, but he was destroying double A. Justin Fosco, 89. I would probably have a little higher, but it's cool. He just has a lot of power. Only 62 games last year, and he hit 17 home runs. Did struggle a little bit once he got moved up to double A, but I do think they moved him pretty quick. I do think he moved pretty quick. He is a college guy, so I get it, but, you know, only 33 games at high A. He was killing it. He was absolutely killing it there, but I probably would have kept him there a little bit longer, but that's okay. Good player. Tyler Freeman at 88. This is someone that does not get enough credit. Just absolutely rakes. Like, 323 last year. Only 2 home runs, so he's like a single type leadoff guy, but 372 on base percentage for that type of hitter is awesome. That was all at double A too. He only played 41 games. Again, another injury, but dude can straight up hit. Like, I love Tyler Freeman. If I had to pick like a top 5, like guaranteed to be like a good player in MLB, he's probably in that. Like, he's probably in that conversation because he's a very good player. Matt McClain at 87. I'm salty about Matt McClain because the D-backs drafted him back in like 2018 or 2017. I can't remember when. I don't think it's going to say. But he didn't sign, and then he came back and signed with the Reds for like only like 5 picks higher. Like, he was a first-round draft pick for the D-backs, so I don't know why he didn't accept it. But he had a solid first few games. First 31 games, pretty solid. So we'll see. I don't hate the ranking. Mackenzie Gore dropping all the way to 86. I'm cool with it. I still like Mackenzie Gore. I still on the hype train on Mackenzie Gore. He's still young. He's 23. Like, hopefully puts together a good season this year. We'll see what happens, but I'm fine with him at 86. Jaren Durant at 85. I don't consider really a prospect anymore. He played 33 games at the pro level last year, on over 100 at-bats. Almost broke that rookie status, but they made sure that he did not, and he really struggled. So as much as I like Jaren Durant, and he was doing pretty well in AAA, he just, I don't know. Maybe this year he figures it out, but like his first 2 years in the minors, he was like an average guy with less home runs, and he just, I guess, hit a ton of home runs last year, but didn't have as good as numbers as far as batting average, and I guess his on-base percentage dropped too. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a change of approach that he needs to make to really make that adjustment. But I'm fine at 85. But again, I don't really consider him a prospect anymore. Number 84, Brian Rocio. This is a player I like a lot. This is a player that some people actually had in their top 50, but this is someone I've been following for a little while. I think he's a good player. Little Francisco Lindor-esque. I don't know if it'd be as good, but he hit 15 home runs last year. 5'10", 170. He's an infielder. I believe he's a switch hitter too. Yeah, switch hitter. On-base percentage isn't all there yet, so that would be his biggest opportunity in my opinion. Ezekiel Durant at 83. I think Durant's a good player, but he's another guy that I don't know if I go this high. I like some other guys that are definitely not going to be on this list a little bit more. Like probably, I don't know, but I'm guessing Baby Acuna is not gonna be on this list. He hasn't been on anyone's list. I like Trevor Hauver in the Rangers organization better than Durant. Also, they're right around the same age, and Hauver just seems to be a better hitter. 19 home runs is impressive though last year for Durant. Emerson Hancock at 82. I think this is too high. I do think Hancock is a very special arm. He got hurt last year, so if that's what they're going to take into consideration, then that's fine. But over his first 12 starts, 2.62 ERA. He had like 43 Ks and 44 innings, which is fine. He's not a huge strikeout guy. Batters only hit 184 against him. And even when he got moved up to Double A, he did well. So I like Emerson Hancock a lot. Mick Abel, there's not a world where I have him ranked higher than Emerson Hancock. I know he's 2 years younger, but I'm just not there yet. I think he's got good stuff, but he has to prove it. He did not have a good first year. Jordan Groshans at 80. I'm still a Jordan Groshans fan. This is him after, injuries and just not playing for a while, like a lot of people, but he gets thrown to Double A, gets moved up a division. He did well. 291, 7 home runs, 367 on base percentage. I just think he's a good hitter. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I thought in the draft he was the best hitter in 2018, but we'll have to see how he does. I still believe in Groshans. Liover Peguero, I'm not keeping him at 79. That's way too high for me. He'd be in like the 90s range for me. 270 batting average with a 332 on base percentage. I'm not a fan. He's 21 years old, and that was at high A. Like, a little old for the division, and you really still did not get on base at all. 14 home runs is cool, though. Ronnie Mauricio, 78. This is a better ranking than, who was it? Kylie McDaniel had him in like the top 20 or top 30. Like, that was idiotic, in my opinion. But, I mean, he showed promise this year. Had a lot of home runs. He just can't get on base. He was like 290 on base percentage. Ridiculous. Videl Brohan at 77. I actually like this ranking. He definitely lost a little bit of his hype last year. He just doesn't get on base enough. 345 over the whole last season in AAA, and then 346 the year before. He just doesn't get on base enough. He does everything else well, though. He steals a ton of bases. You know, over the last 3 years, 55, 48, 44. Like, dude steals bases. Ellie De La Cruz. I think this is too high. I know a lot of people like his skill set. He's 6'2", 150. Only 20 years old, but in my opinion, he just hasn't shown enough to beat. I wouldn't even have him in the top 100. Every single list has him in the top 100. I wouldn't have him there. 296 is cool, but we only have a 336 on base percentage when you hit 296. I don't like that at all. Like, zero part of me likes that. Like, it's ridiculous. That's just basically the only time you're getting on base when you're getting hits. Like, I just don't agree with it. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Kyle Harrison, very good pitcher. Very good pitcher. He's only pitched in low A, though, so 75 is cool because he did have a crazy strikeout rate. 98 innings, 157 Ks is nuts. So, Taj Bradley, another guy, good arm, did really well last year in 2021. 1.83 ERA, good strikeout rate, good pitcher, don't hate it. Gabriel Arias at 73, I like it. I'm fine with him here. Showed some promise, showed some power the last 2 seasons. 17 home runs 2 years ago, and then last year 13. 284 with a 348 on base percentage. Good player, good defender, but 73 is fine. Asa Lacy at 72. He has something to prove this year because he was one of the top arms in the draft last year. Got drafted 4th overall, but just could not throw strikes. 41 walks in 52 innings. If he can figure that out, he's going to be a beast. Roansy Contreras, low-key might win Rookie of the Year in the NL. Just unhittable last year, 2.64, and that's over AA and AAA. He's young. He's only 22 years old. He's electric. I think he showed like an 8-pitch sequence from his outing in spring training this year, and he threw like all 8 of those pitches over 97 miles an hour. Like, dude throws gas. Sal Frelick, I like Sal Frelick a lot. He is smaller, though, 5'9", 175. About my only concern. Other than that, he was probably the best performer in the 2021 draft that did play. Maybe Cowser, actually. Cowser's probably a little bit better, but Sal Frelick was right there with him, hitting 329 with a 414 on base percentage, 2 home runs. Good player. J Bladey at 69 is crazy to me. He's lost everything to me. Like, his last 2 years, he could not hit. On base percentage, 311 2 years ago, 323 this past year. No. 12 home runs is cool, but no. Hit 212. I won't even have him in my top 100 right now. Andy Pages. Thank you. I like this at 68. Finally, someone give him some respect because he just has consistent numbers. 265, he dropped his average a lot last year. But when you have a 394 on base percentage, you can live with 265. And when he hits 31 home runs, you can live with 265. So at least you're doing something right. He did strike out a lot, though. 132 strikeouts. So he needs to figure that out. Michael Busch, good player. You know, one of the top prospects in the Dodgers org. He's a good player. He's a little bit older now. He's 24, but good on base percentage guy. He only hit 267, but had a 386 on base percentage. Like, definitely solid. Colton Cousin, just talked about it a little bit, raked in his first 32 games. Definitely deserving of this ranking. I think he could probably even move him up a little bit higher, but I'm cool with it for now. Michael Harris at 65. I like Michael Harris, but I don't like him more than some of those other guys that we just went by. Like, I like Pages more. I like Colton Cousin more. I like Roansy Contreras more, but he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. 294 last year. He had 7 home runs, 362 on base percentage. He's a good hitter, but he's only played at high A. He's 21 years old. See what he can do this year. Expect him to be in AA. I'm very excited to see what he can do. Gunnar Henderson at 64 is crazy, in my opinion. Like, absolutely crazy. And, you know, if you look at his overall season, 350 on base percentage is good. Hit 258, which is whatever. Hit 17 home runs, which is cool. But he just could not hit once he got moved up to AA. I mean, he only played 5 games there, but even in high A, he struggled a little bit. 230 with a 343 on base percentage. Hit some home runs, but I don't even know why they moved him up to AA. He couldn't hit in high A. Luis Matos at 63, getting some respect. I actually like Matos in the top 50, but that's just because I'm biased, I guess. So one thing with Matos, I want to see him walk more. Like, I really want to see him walk more. Only 28 walks in 109 games, but other than that, across the board, good at everything. Has power, too, for that little body. I guess he's 5'11", but he looks very small when you watch him play. Nick Prado, I'm fine at 62. Dude earned his spot last year. 265 with a 385 on base percentage, 36 home runs. I don't know if I believe it or not on Nick Prado, former first-round pick, but everyone in AAA for the Kansas City Royals raked last year, so might just be an easy park to hit in. We will see how he does this year. Jason Dominguez at 61, 258 last year with a 346 on base percentage, 5 home runs. He was like 18 years old last year. Like, there's not a lot of criticism out there for an 18-year-old, so like I think he did fine for an 18-year-old in only 56 games. Like 353 on base percentage, I'm cool with. So like, I don't think that's bad. We'll see. I'm fine with that ranking. Oswald Peraza, same org. Middle infielder. He's just a good player. Very solid. Hit 297 last year. 18 home runs across 3 different levels last year. Most of his games getting played at AA, and he did really well there. 294, 348, and 12 home runs. So I like Oswald Peraza a lot. I think he's a trade piece, though, going forward, honestly. I think he's going to be a really good trade piece. Shea Langoliers, I'm cool at 59, actually. Sometimes you got to take in perspective on these prospect lists. Just how long is their career going to last? And I think Shea Langoliers' career is going to last extremely long. Just got traded to the A's, actually, in the Matt Olson trade. But, last year at 258 with a 338 on base percentage. Don't love it, but he hit 22 home runs and he plays amazing defense. So I think his defense alone is going to keep him in the league. Shoot, look at Jeff Mathis. He's been in the league forever, and he can't hit at all. And he can't hit for power. Sixto at 58. I don't consider him a prospect, but I love Sixto. Dude is disgusting. Jose Fernandez-esque in my opinion. Bobby Miller at 57. I'm fine with it. Bobby Miller's nasty. He had a really good 2021. Got hit up a little bit once he got moved up to AA, but he only had 3 starts there. So other than that, super solid at high A. He was only 21 last year, had a 191 at high A with under a 1 whip. Like, ridiculous. Tyler Soderstrom at 56. I like this ranking. I think he can go a little bit higher. Kylie McDaniel put him in the top 10. But that's just because, some people rank their list differently. Soderstrom did extremely well offensively for his first year. 306 batting average, 12 home runs, 306 average, 390 on base percentage, 12 home runs. He did strike out 61 times in 57 games, but love seeing the power early on in a high school, like a player coming out of high school, his career. It's impressive. Nick York at 55, I would definitely have higher. I would 1,000% have him higher. Not even the top 50 is kind of disrespectful in my opinion. So 2021 is his first year. We'll just look at the whole thing. Hit 325, 14 home runs, 412 on base percentage. Stole 13 bags. Like, what is there not to like? He only struck out 69 times in 97 games. Like, what is there not to like here? Walked 52 times. I don't get it, I guess. And even when he moved up to high A, he raked 333, 406, 4 more home runs in 21 games. Like, I don't know why he's not. He should be like top 20 in my opinion at like the absolute highest. Quentin Priester, I like Quentin Priester. I'm cool at 54. Just a good pitcher. Just a very good pitcher. He knows what he wants to do up there, and he executes. He's not a strikeout guy, but he's very good. On the other hand, at 53, Daniel Espino. This is a strikeout guy. 91 innings, 152 Ks. Whip barely above 1. Just electric stuff. I'm fine with him at 53. Austin Martin at 52. I think he deserves to be a little bit higher. Again, I'm not a big Vanderbilt guy. I think they breed college guys that don't succeed in the pros very often, but maybe it's just because they have so many of them that get drafted. But he had a really good first year, honestly, in my opinion. He played at AA on 2 different teams, combined for 93 games at AA. He had 414 on base percentage, hit 275 home runs. I think we'll see more power from him this year, but you can't get mad. Over 400 on base percentage, super impressive. And Jay Melendez at 51. I like this ranking a lot more than some of the other people. I saw people put him in the top 20, top 30. I need to see more. And again, I don't know if it's just really easy to hit in these fields, and especially the AAA field. But, he did really well last year. Over 123 games, he hit 41 home runs, hit 288 with a 386 on base percentage. It's really awesome. The numbers are awesome. But if you look at the years before, like just in 2019, he hit 163 with a 260 on base percentage. Like, love the turnaround. I'm rooting for MJ Melendez. Big fan, but I'm not sold on him to do it consistently yet. Josh Lowe at 50 is cool with me. Definitely should get called up this year. Good player. 291 last year. 381 on base percentage. 22 home runs. You never know. Like that's a guy that could be like a sneaky AL Rookie of the Year type player. He's just a good player. I think he's a plug and play player as well because he is a little bit older. He is 24. Brady House at 49. I don't know if I'd go as far as putting him in the top 50 yet, but he definitely did well in his first 16 games at rookie ball. 322, 394 on base percentage, 4 home runs. He did well. Just got to see a little bit more. Cole Winn, another Rangers prospect, you guys, that just did really well last year. 2.41 ERA, and that was on most of his work at AA, 19 starts, 2.31 ERA, whip under 0.9, 0.82, almost under 0.8. Batters only hit 144 against him last year. Extremely, extremely good season. George Valera, I like George Valera. I do, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his size. He's 5'11". He's not even that big. He looks smaller when you look at him, but I'm just not sold yet. He's good, though. He's a good player. 260 batting average. Again, he's kind of like Pages in a way where, if he hits 260, he makes up for it with a 405 on base percentage, hit 19 home runs. Just a solid player. He walked 66 times in 86 games. We do love that. Royce Lewis is way too high on this list. I like Royce Lewis. I'm a partial Twins fan. My mom's from Minnesota, but you just can't put him there yet. He's never put up the numbers, and he just keeps getting hurt. Bryson Stott at 45. I like Stott inside the top 50. He did really well last year. Over 112 games last year, 299 average, 390 on base percentage, 16 home runs. He just did a lot of things well. Campusano, I'm fine with him in the top 50. I don't think I'd put him in my top 50 just because not that good at defense. He can hit 295 batting average, 15 home runs, 365 on base percentage. He's just an offensive catcher, so we'll see how he does. Those catchers usually don't stick around that long in the MLB, so that's the only reason why I don't like him. Matthew Liberatore at 43. This is a much better ranking than the last video where he's in like the 90s. He did really well last year, in my opinion. Jumping from low A to AAA and only having a 4.04, that's very good, in my opinion. A whip 1.25, 123 strikeouts in 124 innings. I don't think he's a strikeout guy anyways, but from that jump from low A to AAA, I think he did very well. Nick Lodolo at 42. This is one of my favorite lefties in the minor leagues. Might be my favorite lefty arm. Him, DL Hall, Matthew Liberatore. I like those guys all a lot. But Lodolo's nasty, dominated AA, then only had 3 starts at AAA. Did get hit up a little bit, but really good stuff. Does everything well. I think he's going to be a really good piece for the Reds. Yuri Perez, right-handed pitcher. Electric stuff. Another guy that is just barely touched high A, so I can't have too strong of an opinion yet, but he did dominate 108 strikeouts in 78 innings. Very good there. Jackson Jobe, crazy spin rates. I haven't seen him play yet, though, so I don't have much of an opinion, but I'm fine with him in the top 50 only because his slider is like a top 5 spin rate if he was in the MLB today. K. Cavalli at 39, love it. I think he should be probably higher than this, in my opinion, just because he's so good. But, he played on 3 teams last year and did really well in all of them. I guess not really well in AAA, but you're not supposed to do really well in AAA the first time you get there, especially in your first professional season. But he dominated AA, 2.79 in over 11 starts, 58 innings, 80 strikeouts. He led the minor leagues in strikeouts with 175. So, dude has the swing and miss that you want in a prospect pitcher. Elvis Martinez at 38. I'm cool with this ranking just because of the upside. This is one guy that I will take the upside. Him and Marco Luciano are very similar in my opinion. You could rank them back. You could rank them back to back, and I'd be fine with it. They're kind of dealing with the same problem, and that is striking out a lot. And as you can see, 261 batting average is fine, but 345 on base percentage is not great. Did hit 28 home runs last year though. What was he, 19 last year? He's only 20 right now, so pretty crazy there. Robert Hassel at 37. I think I'd actually move. Actually, I'm cool with him there. I'm cool with him there for now. He did have a really good first year, though. We'll see how he does this year. Did struggle a little bit at high A, so that's the only reason why I hesitated putting him a little bit higher than this for now, but it did really well at low A. Zach Veen, similar to Hassel. I'm glad they put him back to back, honestly. Veen is definitely have more power than Hassel. Just moving forward, he's a bigger guy, and his swing is built for home runs, but he does everything really well. They both stole a lot of bases, 36 stolen bases last year, but we'll see what they do this year. They're going to both not touch low A ever again, hopefully, so we'll see. Max Meyer, you can rank Max Meyer. Him and K. Cavalli to me are 2 arms that are just super good college arms. out of the 2020 draft, and he was the most consistent, honestly, when it comes to the numbers. He's not a big strikeout guy, 130 strikeouts in 111 innings, but he just knows what he's doing, and he executes super well. Whip at 1.19, 2.27 ERA over 22 starts at Double-A. Like, so freaking good. And then he dominated his first, I think he did 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, no hits in his first spring training. Like, it wasn't a start, but it was an appearance, I believe. Super good. Edward Cabrera, I wouldn't have him ahead of Cavalli or Meyer, in my opinion, but he has all the stuff to be just absolutely amazing, and that's why people love him. Did well last year in the minor leagues, but didn't do well when he came up. So this is one guy I don't know. It's hard to say he wasn't ready because he was doing really well in the minors, but I would have left him in AAA longer. 3.68 in AAA over 6 starts. Like, that's just not enough innings, in my opinion, and it showed because he did get hit up at the pro level. Nolan Gorman at 33. I like Nolan Gorman a lot. If he can just get on base more frequently, he will be an absolute star in the MLB. Just needs to get on base more. George Kirby, definitely one of the top arms in the whole prospect system. I don't like him as much as some other guys, but he is good. He just doesn't have the crazy strikeout rate, which I want to see towards these rankings for pitchers. So not there yet on George Kirby, but he's very good. Joey Bart at 31 is blasphemy to me. I don't even have him really. He might be like a top 80 guy now, maybe even in the 90s for me. Like, he's just getting old. He's 25, going to be 20, probably turning 26 this year. I mean, he's done some good things in the minor leagues, just not enough good things. Like, only hit 10 home runs last year. Like, he does play good defense, though, so he does do that well. Jordan Walker at 30. Like, how are you going to rank Jordan Walker and Joey Bart right now? Come on. Jordan Walker, one of the best performers last year. I do want him to get on base a little bit more. I want to see that 400 mark, but other than that, he did everything super well. He even stole 14 bases at 6'5". But he hit 317, 388 on base percentage, 14 home runs. He is a stud. I do want to see him get on base more. Josh Young got hurt. Unfortunately, going to miss, I think it was, 2 or 3 months for a labrum tear while he was working out, which sucks because I really think he could have been a dark horse for the Rookie of the Year this year. Just has never sucked. He's so good. He's so good at hitting. Diego Cartaya, 28. I'm fine with it, just based off his obviously raw power. He hit 10 home runs in his 31 games that he played this year. I still think it's a little much because he's only played in low A, but people love him. People love that guy. And the Dodgers can develop hitting like no one's business. Brett Baty at 27. Love it. My favorite swing in the minor league. So short, so compact, can go all fields. Just did some really good things last year. Would want to see him get on base more, just because 364 is fine. But for me, I think Brett Baty's a 400 on base percentage guy. So for me, I'm a little self-critical because I'm a big Baty fan. Just needs to strike out a little bit less. 98 strikeouts in 91 games. O'Neal Cruz at 26. This is more reasonable. One of the lists had him at like 12, and I think that's just really high. But I actually love this because it's one of the guys that when he wasn't even on the top 100, I actually made a video in my Minor League Monday series like 2 years ago on him, and he's really blossomed. Crazy power. He did hit a home run and when he got brought up at the end of the year, but last year over 68 games, 375 on base percentage, 17 home runs, 310 batting average. Dude can hit for a 6'7" gigantic shortstop. Khalil Watson at 25. Very good player. Everything about him except for his size. He dominated in rookie ball over his first 9 games, but it was only 9 games. So 25 is a little high for me. 24 for Henry Davis, a little high, but I probably have him like the 40s. But he plays really good defense, and he has a great plate discipline, knows his strike zone. Pimped the crap out of one of his 3 home runs. Definitely seems like the real deal. Deserved to go number 1 overall, in my opinion. Jordan Lawler at 23. Hoping he can come off that labrum injury. So we'll see. His opposite arm, at least, expected to be fully recovered. But I like everything else about Jordan Lawler. Hunter Green at 22. He's got everything. Dude can hit 104 miles an hour. Good off speed. Good changeup. He has all the pitches to be super successful. 139 strikeouts, 106 innings. He's still young. He's only 22 years old. Did get eaten up a little bit at AAA, but for he was 21 last year at AAA, 21 starts. I think he did pretty good. 14 starts at AAA. I think he did pretty solid, and I just see him getting better and better. Reed Detmers at 21. I don't agree with. I don't think he's any better than Cade Cavalli. I don't think he's any better than Max Meyer. I do think he has a really good, curveball? Yeah, really good curveball, but I mean, he's a good pitcher. We'll just see. I don't believe the Angels can develop pitching very well. They just never have been able to, not for a while at least. And they rushed him to the MLB just to get shelled, so I hated that. Nick Gonzalez at 20 is very high. Very high. Even in my opinion, he's like a top 40 guy, top 30, just because he's a little bit older. He's 22, but a very good hitter. Love Nick Gonzalez. I'm rooting for him. Definitely one of my dudes that, since he got drafted, I've been on top of. But really good first year, but he only has played at high A. And at 22 years old, I want to see what he does at double A before we really put him in the top 20. Corbin Carroll, very good talent. Very good talent. I wish he wouldn't have got hurt because he did show a little bit of power. Hit 2 home runs in his first 7 games last year. He does a lot of things right. I think he's a disgusting future leadoff hitter because he's extremely fast too. Alek Thomas, to put him back to back. I'm not a huge Alek Thomas guy. I think he's a high floor, low ceiling type of guy. I think he's just going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a good player. And who knows? Maybe that keeps him in the MLB for a very long time. I just don't see him ever being like a MVP type player. But 18, I'm fine with it because I do think he's a good player. I'm very excited for him. Jack Leiter at 17. Again, not a lot to go off of other than I've watched a lot of his college starts. He has amazing mechanics, and he's disgusting. So I'm fine with him at 17, but I have a tough time putting him ahead of some of those other guys that we just talked about. Cavalli, Meyer, those other college arms, but he's a little bit younger. Tristan Cass is at 16. I like this ranking. I'm a big Cassis guy. I've been a big Cassis guy since 2018. He's done very well, and he's developed very well. Starting to hit lefties better. This is someone I follow very heavily, too. I want to see that power increase, though. 14 home runs is fine in 86 games, but, he's a guy that can hit, 50 home runs in a season. He has light tower power, and that is not an exaggeration. He has the most power in the minor leagues, and I guarantee it. Next up, Brennan Davis at 15. Love Brennan Davis. He actually made a swing change. Check out his home run in spring training. It looks like his finish is two-handed now. Looks exactly like Paul Goldschmidt. So I like that a lot, being a Paul Goldschmidt fan. But over 99 games last year, he did a lot of things well. He just struck out too much. 118 strikeouts in 99 games. That's the only concern. If he can limit those strikeouts, dude is a star. Marcelo Meyer at 14, way too high in my opinion. Way too high in my opinion. I don't see why you put Jordan Lawler at 23 and have Meyer at 14. I just think it's too high. He would have came out in his first 26 games and hit a billion batting average with a billion home runs and a billion on base percentage. That's cool. I don't have him inside my top 15 yet. I just can't do it. Top 30 is cool. Top 20 maybe. I think he's a good player, but I can't rank him that high yet. Marco Luciano at 13, very generous considering the year he had last year. He did really well at low A, but he struggled at high A, 36 games, 129 at bats. He only hit 217 with a 283 on base percentage, 295 slugging. He got eaten up at high A, so he's got some stuff to prove this year. Shane Baz, again, I don't really consider him a prospect anymore. He should never even see the minor leagues again, but he might because of service time. He is probably the most well-rounded pitcher, and that is because he does not walk people. He does not walk people at all. Over, 78 innings last year, he only had 13 walks. He is very, very good, knows what he wants to do on the mound, and he executes. Noelvi Marte, 11. Maybe. Everyone pretty much has him in the top 15. I think I put him in the 20 range for me. The ceiling's there 1,000%. I want to see what he does this year before we get ahead of ourselves. He just got 8 games at high A, so he played 99% of the season in low A. Only had a 368 on base percentage. So that's the only thing. Other than that, he did really well. Love the 17 home runs. 271 on batting average is cool too. Stole 23 bags. He can do everything right. Defense is not the best. He's not the best fielder. I think 50 grade is even pretty generous. He makes a lot of errors. So we'll see. I think he's a better fit at second base than shortstop, but he has everything. I'm very excited to see what he does this year. Francisco Alvarez at 10. This is something I'm just not going to get upset about. Obviously, everyone absolutely loves him, and there is good reason. The dude is big. 5'10", 230. He has put together a big 5'10". 272 batting average last year, 24 home runs, which you absolutely love He's only 20 years old. He's only 19 last year at 24 home runs. Love that. 388 on base percentage too. The only thing is he did struggle at high A. 351 on base percentage is actually not that bad. 247 average with the 351 on base percentage. I mean, for an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, that's not bad. So it's not as bad as I make it out to be. I definitely want to see him improve, though, offensively, outside of just hitting home runs. CJ Abrams, absolute stud, got hurt last year. He's killing spring training already. He has 2 home runs this year in spring training. Just a good hitter. Knows exactly what he's doing offensively. Knows exactly where his barrel is. Seems to always hit the ball hard. His bat-to-ball skills are second to none in this list. Anthony Volpe at 8. He had one of the best years last year. Like, he was so good. Even at high A when he got brought up, he hit 286 to 391 on base percentage, 15 home runs. But he had a really good year, combined for a 423 on base percentage to 27 home runs. Like, the Yankees know how to draft. Who knows? Maybe Austin Wells will do that this year too. But really solid. Like, I think he deserves that top 10. He deserves it. Again, it's hard to put someone in the top 10 that hasn't seen AA yet. So we'll see what Volpe can do. Gabriel Moreno at 7. This is pretty much everyone's unanimous top catcher, and it's hard not to. I wish he would have played more last year. Only 37 games last year, but he did hit 367 with a 434 on base percentage and 8 home runs. So very special offensive player. Number 6, Grayson Rodriguez. So I love Grayson Rodriguez. I've been a huge fan of him for a very long time. Crazy strikeout rates. Even this year, he even upped it from last year. He had 94 innings with 129 Ks in 2019. This year, 103 innings, 161 Ks. He just whip at .83. He just does a lot of things right. Has a lot of good pitches, good control. He's unanimously the top arm right now, and he deserves it. Riley Green at 5. I like Riley Green. He's super consistent. Again, he's probably the only 5-tool player moving forward on this list, maybe considering Bobby Witt Jr. Riley Green tomorrow, if he plays in MLB, I think he could win a Gold Glove. That's how good he is at defense. On top of just being a very good hitter, 301 with a 387 on base percentage, 24 home runs. Special player in Riley Green. Torkelson at 4. A lot of people actually had this flip-flop. They had Torque at 5, Riley Green at 4, which it's fine because Torque is not a 5-tool player, but Torque has something not a lot of people have, and it is a stupid amount of power. Last year, first year in the minor leagues, 267. And just to remind you guys, he played 31 games at high A, and then he got thrown straight to AA and straight to AAA. He played a lot of games last year, too. 121 games, most of those being in AA and AAA during his first professional year. He started out slow, too. The first month is pretty bad, but 267 batting average, 383 on base percentage, 30 home runs. I don't see a world where if Torkelson plays 162 where he doesn't hit 30 plus. Told my brother 40 at the gym today, but 30 plus is a safer bet. Julio Rodriguez, I don't know why he's third on this list. I love Adley and I love Bobby Witt, but J-Rod, honestly, he's just doing his thing. And even in spring training, let's just pull up Julio Rodriguez really quick and see how he's doing in spring training. Oh yeah, he hit a no-doubter already. He's only hitting 250, but he does have a home run, and he has a 1,400 OPS. He's 1 for 4 with a home run. All right, and a walk. 1 for 4 with a home run and a walk. That's not bad, though. I mean, considering. Again, he's still only 21 years old. Should play this year. Did everything right last year. Hit 347 with a 441 on base percentage, 13 home runs. Played too long at high A. He shouldn't have even been in high A last year, but he dominated in AA, too. He is the best offensive player on this list. He is. He has proved time and time again that he is better than everyone. Adley Ruchman at number 2. I love Adley Ruchman, and I think he's a really good defensive catcher and a very good offensive catcher, too. Last year, played at AA and AAA, combined for a 285 batting average with a 397 on base percentage and 23 home runs. Anyone that's thought that he didn't have power anymore, or didn't have consistent enough power, I should say, put that to rest. 23 home runs is extremely impressive. Walked 79 times and only struck out 90 times. So almost as many walks as strikeouts. Extremely impressive. And then for their number 1 is Bobby Witt Jr. Again, the top 3 is unanimous on every single list, and you can reorganize them the way you want. But I do value Julio Rodriguez over Bobby Witt Jr., and I do value Adley over Bobby Witt. But I do love Bobby Witt. He's a good player. He does a lot of things right. Just strikes out a lot. So hopefully he can address that. Just because for someone to be the number 1 ranked player, and again, he's young. He's only 21. Last year, he was only 20. Played at AA and AAA last year. So love that jump from rookie ball. And for how he did very well. He hit 290 with a 361 on base percentage, 33 home runs. Like 33 home runs is insane. Absolutely love. He stole 29 bases on top of that, but 131 strikeouts in 123 games. Don't love that. 361 on base percentage. Like, there's room to improve, which is good. He's still young. But I don't rank him over Adley and Julio just because the ability to get on base isn't all the way there yet. 51 walks in 123 games ain't that bad, though. Ain't that bad, though. He is a stud. Again, outside of Riley Green, Bobby Witt Jr. is right there as a 5-tool player. He can steal bases. He can play defense. He can hit. Like, he is very good at everything. He's another 5-tool player. Him and Riley Green are definitely the best 5-tool players on this entire list. And that's why he's number 1, because he's going to stay at shortstop. He's going to hit a lot of home runs. He's going to steal a lot of bases. Like, he is a star in the making, Bobby Witt Jr. I could see him struggle a little bit more than, some of these other guys just because of the strikeout concerns. You don't have that as much with these guys, but he's a stud. It's just a matter of time before Bobby Witt Jr. puts his stamp on the MLB, in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to do it, everybody. That is the top 100 for the MLB Pipeline. Awesome list. Honestly, I didn't have very many complaints. Couple pitchers that, I thought maybe others should have been ranked higher than the other, but pretty consistent list. A couple guys I wish were a little bit lower, but overall, that was solid. I enjoyed that. I agreed with a lot of it. So that would probably be really similar to my list. Couple adjustments here and there, but that I liked it. That was fun. That was the best lists, in my opinion. That was the first time. This came about a week ago. And I did see the top 10 on Twitter, but I didn't see anything other than that. I purposely did not look at it because I want to make this video. So yeah, I want to do a live stream. I just didn't have time for it. So the 45 minutes it just took me to make this video. And then obviously I'll edit to be shorter. A lot better than usually the 2-hour live stream I have. So that's why I made it a video. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, everyone. Let me know in the comments what you think of the MLB Pipeline's top 100. I thought it was very solid. Give me your opinions, though. Good, bad, yay, nay. Which players should or should not be on this list? They didn't really snub anyone. The only person I can think that they snubbed is, Everson Pereira. He's the only one that comes off the top of my head that isn't on this list, which I'm surprised. I thought they would have him on there. But, no, that's going to do it, everyone. Thank you all for watching again. And if you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video. Just in general, let me know what you think of the prospect list. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.